Welcome to episode 596 of Salsidoparanormal. I'm your host, James Salsido, and tonight we will be talking about haunted places in the U.S. As always, you can find all episodes of the show, along with links to social media, on the podcast page, and that is salsidoparanormal.podbean.com. That is SALSIDO paranormal.podbean.com. Always happy to hear from you all, whether you have comments or questions or topic suggestions or stories of paranormal activity, accounts of paranormal activity, whether they're your own or from other people that you trust. Happy to either read those or have you join me on the show to talk about them. Thank you all for listening. Whether you are here for the live podcast or live recording streams on Discord, or if you listen to the podcast or YouTube feeds, or on the Troubled Minds Radio Network, KUAP, Digital Broadcasting. There you can hear replays of 2 episodes of the show every night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, right before the Troubled Minds Radio comes on. And as always, I want to thank Michael Strange, host of Troubled Minds Radio, for putting all these shows up there on the network and having me there as well. So if you'd like to support the show, there are some different ways to do that. And you can always share the show with others and rate and review it on your favorite podcast platform. You can also find books I've written over on Amazon, paranormal fiction and nonfiction. You can also sign up for the Patreon page, where you'll get 1 extra episode of the show every week, as much as possible. And that'll always be true paranormal stories from the web. And that is for any of the paid membership tiers there. Or you can also make one-time donations to through PayPal. Support is never expected, but always appreciated, as there are always expenses in making these shows and associated projects, which will be in the books that will be coming out over the years from now, that are sort of directly come from the show, basically. So I think that covers everything. I'm kind of distracted here because I forgot to open up my document for the show and had to do that while I was talking. So I apologize for that. So yeah, this is our continuing series on haunted places in the U.S. We will get to some other places around the world, as long as we can find articles that are in English on them, and talk about that kind of thing. Yeah, getting close to, I'm seeing the chat here already talking about 600 is getting close to 600, which is really amazing. What should we plan for episode 666? I don't know. We will have to see when we get there. Good thing is that's a little ways off. But yeah, so that's the plan for tonight. And thank you all for being here. I'm going to announce real quick, after this week of shows, I'm going to take the next couple weeks off to work on, again, other projects, books and things like that. And also because of the 4th of July holiday, there's going to be, of course, a lot of fireworks going off right around the time that I do my shows at night on the weekends. So just could use a little bit of a break to work on other things and just give my own mind a little bit of rest from all the research and things. And so yeah, that'll be a couple weeks or so, and then I'll be back to doing shows. And so yeah, that's the plan for for the next few weeks to come. But still going to do a full week of shows, starting with this one. So, and the first location here now, as I always say with these shows, any of the locations I talk about, please research them before you try to go there in person. Make sure that they're open to the public, and find out when and how to arrange visits there. If you have to, some places you may have to set up arrange for tours. Just do all the research, find out what the rules are, and if you're allowed to go there and visit in person. Because even if these articles say that they're open, they may not be today, because these articles come from the past, so things can change. and I never trespassing is never a good idea for a lot of reasons. So just wanted to put that out there, as I always do for these episodes. This first location, we'll see if we get to two. We may or may not. You never know until we actually go through the material here. This is we're still in Arizona, and this next one is Casey Moore's Oyster House in Tempe. It's rumored to be haunted by the spirit of a girl who passed away in the building when it was a private residence. This first article here is from onlyinyourstate.com, and the title reads, Sip wine and mingle with ghosts in one of Arizona's oldest, most haunted bars. So, this was, so Casey Moore, who was the restaurant's namesake, was born in 1886 to Irish immigrants. She was an entertainer, so a lot of friends and neighbors from around the area came to listen to her play piano. It's said that she still lingers in the restaurant where that has her name in the bar area. Guests have seen a woman in dated clothing swirling around, so I guess dancing around the dining room. Sometimes tugging on neckties, and sending objects soaring through the air. So that's quite a lot of energy there. So let's see here. Talks about the food of the place, and says that he talks more about the food. So apparently, they have like 3 paragraphs talking about the food here. So, and let me see, scrolling down more. So it says that dogs are welcome on the patio, and it says that sometimes they start barking or staring at something invisible that no one else can see there as well. So that's always a thing. Animals definitely can sense presences. I've had that experience with my own cat, Logan. And so that's the end of that article here. Not a super long one. So we'll go on to the next one here. And of course, all these episodes will be all these articles. Now you can see, I think, why I may need a break. I am not doing so well with words tonight. Words are hard. This next article is from phoenixghosts.com. And so it has the location as the title, the article title, and gives the location of the place, but we won't go into that too much. You can find the article here and in the episode description, as I said. So this was originally a home. It was built over 100 years ago as a residence for the influential Moore family. Now it has a different spelling here. I've never seen the spelling before. I wonder if it's a different, because it's from a different part of the world. It is Moore in a way, but it's Moeur. They had a role, it says, in the development of the educational system in the area and around the area. The family was related to B. Moore, who was the governor of Arizona during the Great Depression. After that family had passed away, which does happen over time, the house fell into disrepair, which also happens in some of these locations. Sometime in the 1950s, the abandoned home became a boarding house and bordello. So, but after that, the location, the house was bought in 1973 and converted into a restaurant. And at first it was called 9th and Ash, which is, I'm guessing, the location there. But in 1986, it was rebranded, sold and rebranded as an Irish pub, and renamed, given the name it has now, which is, as of this article, which is Casey Moore's Oyster House. And locals in the area know that the place to be haunted. Residents in the area have seen a couple dancing. That's interesting. A couple, as in man and woman, I guess, dancing in one of the windows in the second story late at night when they know that the house is empty. Many think that they are the spirits of the Moors. The staff has also had silverware thrown onto the floor and tables and chairs rearranged overnight. Again, that's a lot of energy. That's a lot of strength there. The ghost of a young girl is seen there. And as she said, they're around the area as well. So, goes into the history here, more of that. So let's see here. Goes into the history of the family a lot more. There's a lot about that. And so you can check that out if you want a lot more of of that. And so it was constructed in, let's see here. It might be talking about a different location. So, but and it's just going over a lot of what I already talked about there with the history of the location and a lot of the family history. Let's see here. I'll try to summarize this here. So the family was influential in the development of the area overall of Tempe, and but then again, and also mentioned education systems as well. They helped lay the plans for the school system, and let's see here. William Moore helped. Was the first head of the county school board. So William was also on the county board of supervisors and was elected as the county's first land commissioner in 1921. Benjamin B. Moore, better known as B.B. Moore, it says, moved to Arizona from Arkansas to join his family in Tempe. He was a physician and had just finished medical school, and he moved in with William and Mary and began his own medical practice in the town. So, and again, as it says here, he was he went. Oh, so it says that he not only did medical work in his own establishment, but he also did basically traveled a lot to take care of people as well. So he was also involved in business and politics. So let's see here, and as one of the articles said, it he was elected the fourth governor of Arizona in 1932 during the Great Depression. So, moving on to the rest of this here. Now, moving on to the more present day, the restaurant here. It's an Irish themed pub and seafood restaurant, and so let's see here. Going on to the apparitions there. It says that Casey Moore's Oyster House is famous in the area for, again, its food. He keeps on mentioning that. The ghosts and spirits in the restaurant says are active, and many have had seen apparitions and had other strange experiences in and around the restaurant. So that's always amazing when you have activity, not just in the building, but around it. Residents across the street have apparently seen a woman dancing through the second floor window, past the second floor window, late at night. And she usually appears around 4 a.m. and sometimes has a partner, a man that dances with her. So It says on at least 4 different occasions, neighbors have called the police, who arrive and find the place is empty. So many people suspect that the dancing couple are the ghosts of William and Mary Moore. I wonder what that means when they're seeing the one apparition sometimes, and then the two at other times. Is that all residual? Is that a mix of residual and intelligent entities there? How much of that? I mean, depending on how long it's been happening, it could have even developed into more than what it was. Sort of like a thought form situation. People have 1 or 2 sightings of these apparitions, or even one of the apparitions, and then all the energy is focused on that area, and they start appearing more and more. I do think that's a possibility with some of these places. And again, I have no idea, but that's just I'm trying to figure out what it could mean. The difference between just the image of the woman that is seen more often, but then sometimes she's dancing with a man who people say is her husband as well. Says that the residents say that the couple is glad to see their old home has been turned into a lively restaurant, which is possible as well. Neighbors say that the spirits of the dancing couple are accompanied by a faint glow from the second-story window, so possibly generating their own light. The ghost of the young woman that passed in what was at the time the boarding house from Bordello is witnessed in the restaurant, and she appears during business hours. Those that have seen her claim that she has dark hair and light, so I guess bright colored eyes, and she appears out of the corner of your eye, and she stares until you turn around to face her, and then disappears. So it says that the ghosts at the restaurant are known to also be somewhat mischievous, and the staff has set the tables, chairs, and silverware before closing, only to find them rearranged in the morning. Staff and customers have also seen silverware launched from the tables on several occasions. Lamps have started swinging violently on their own, so I'm guessing they mean lamps from the ceiling. There's also an account of a photo frame being launched across the restaurant with the nail still in the wall, as if someone had tilted the picture and thrown it across the room. So yeah, that's the last of the Arizona actual locations there. And so yeah, that's a lot of activity there in that location. And again, I wonder what it means with the different apparitions there. Yeah, it would be cool if the ghost was folding clothes and cleaning. Yeah. Yeah, and Ricky in chat says so the person was from Dawn or DG. Ricky says that's a powerful entity. For that to be oh, I'm sorry. I'm going from the wrong direction of chat here. But yeah, it's a lot of activity there in this location. And so looking at the chat here again, and but the apparitions, like I said, having the one or the two, and then just having them be different. I wonder if the man is always with the woman, but sometimes people don't see him, or is he not there? I guess it would depend. Maybe you could tell by the positioning of the, I don't know, of the woman's arms or hands, if you could tell, maybe. My brain is still stuck on that. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's, yeah, stuff flying off of and around sounds like poltergeist. And yeah, from Ricky there, and that's the thing. I mean, if that kind of place was a boarding house bordello after it was a house, a regular house, I can see some energies being stirred up because of all that, and then that continuing to happen even after the place is a restaurant. It could even be just the people's own energy left over from all that. Because sometimes I wonder about that. Are people, are spirits really always trying to get attention by just randomly throwing silverware across the room, or is it some other force that we're just not aware of? Energy passing through electromagnetism. I wonder about that. Of course, you're not going to have the tools to sort of investigate the area when it happens, but I would just wonder, would there be spikes in that kind of energy at the time of or right after the silverware goes flying? Because again, that's metal of some kind or other. And so yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but let's see here. So yeah, hard to say if so. DG says in the chat that hard to say. I've had a ghost get very mad trying to communicate. That did that. Okay, so yeah, I guess if it's they're trying and feeling like they're not getting, that is true. They're not getting the responses they want. Maybe they do that. They do sort of move objects constantly. Maybe that's all they're able to. They've been able to figure out how to do that is witnessed by everybody. So I don't know with that, but yeah, yeah. Some DJ in the chat says I think sometimes ghosts can appear as one entity. Yeah, I wonder. So that makes me wonder: is it two or is it one or is it so? I think it's really hard to know in that situation. So, but yeah, and of course the people have this idea of who they think it is, but as was always the case, unless they feel like they're getting a sense of it from the apparitions, it's hard to know if it really is the people that they think it is too. I always wonder about that. And yeah, so that's a neat location. I think we'll definitely leave it there because we only have about a minute left. But yeah, the next episodes we will do, we'll be starting on Arkansas and getting into locations there. So just don't forget, please check on the all the links and episodes for anyone that has been a guest on the show, and also just all the links there in general for the station and for friends of the show that I always include in every episode. And then again, for the individual episodes where I have other guests on, please check out all those links. And please listen to the Troubled Minds Radio Network, KUAP Digital Broadcasting. A couple of my recent guests that I've had on have shows in there as well. That'd be Ricky and then Herschel, and then other previous guests as well. So, and just looking forward to things to come here after this week of shows, and after the break, I'm thinking about maybe adding a couple of shows each week. We'll see if I can do it. But thank you all for listening, and I will talk to you all on the next episode of Salsidoparanormal. Take care.